Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's been a couple of days since the latest balance patch unleashed Roguestone upon us in Standard, and I thought I would go over 5 of the best decks in Standard and Wild you can play and reasonably expect to climb, whether it's getting to Silver, Gold, Diamond, Platinum, or Legend for the very first time. These are all decks that are relatively competitive and you can give an honest go. Again, craft at your own risk and all of that. You never know what's going to change or how the meta is going to shift, but so far these decks look pretty promising. Before we get into the deck list though, we do have our giveaway going on for $300 of Hearthstone packs out of my wallet, $100 to 3 different winners. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below. I'm going to dislike it. It's absolutely terrible. Besides, you know, Nova, she's pretty cute. As well as subscribe to the channel. And if we hit 58,000 subscribers, we unlock the next giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke as we're on the road to 60K. So looking at these decks, I'm just going to put out H's replay win rates here. You can see that Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Warrior, despite their best efforts with buffs, are still not performing, and I cannot honestly recommend any of those classes at the moment. Relic Demon Hunter is probably the closest to being viable, but even then, there are just too many better options to recommend. And while we'll start off with, you know, Miracle Rogue, this deck is doing very well with the recently buffed Edwin Defias Kingpin. It is ridiculous. I expect this card to go back to 4 at some point, and well, you'll just get dust back for it anyways, but the deck's really good. It is fun to play, I'll give it that. It's actually quite hard to play. I kind of suck with it right now, but win rates are strong, particularly at higher ranks, and the whole deck is just around your graveyard, getting those out, and you play 0 mana nulls, draw a bunch of cards with Edwin, and yeah, you just make very big ghosts. You can make a giant weapon and kill your opponent. You have extended reach with Wicked Stabs, Tooth of Nefarian, Sinister Strike is in there just to buff up your stuff. It's a cheap card to play, and it goes face. It's already been kind of found out that like Krakatoa is too slow for the deck. Yes, it's doing very well, and I definitely can recommend it, but if you want to absolutely crush this deck, you can take a look at Quest Priest. Particular Renathal Quest Priest is doing very well. If you look at H's replay at High Legend, it's tier 1, the best deck in the game after one day, because, well, a lot of people are playing Rogue, and this crushes it. It's like 75% against the Miracle Rogue because you have Shatterward Ruin. It destroys those giant minions. You have Light Bomb, destroys the minions. Whirlpool, you have a bunch of healing, removal, and of course you have your late game win condition with Seek Guidance that allows you to just play your win the game card. It can beat other decks, but it does struggle against like Skeleton Mage and the Ramp Druids and the more greedy things, but it can do very well against aggro. It crushes Rogue and is performing very well with, I've seen multiple streamers at like top 25 Legend as well. I'm also going to highlight a deck that got nerfed. Imp Warlock is still just really good. It's really fast. You're going to get a lot of wins. Vial Library, yes, it's nerfed. It lost +1/+1, but it's still, it can be +6/+6. It's just really strong, very good. You have your new 1-drop in here that like just can solo games. All your imps, you know, you got Rafam as your big payoff reload. You have another reload in Mischievous Imp. When that's fully infused, the deck's good. I definitely can recommend it, and it's relatively cheap. This is a very cheap deck, probably why they want to keep it relatively competitive, although I still think it probably is going to get hit again, whether it's Library itself again or like Impending Catastrophe. Super strong deck, and you can even take parts of this into Wild and do well. I'm not recommending Imp Warlock for Wild, but it can actually compete there as well. I see it quite a bit. Ramp Druid is a very strong deck. If you like playing your Druid decks, you like playing Guff. Guff is a pretty sweet card. Still hasn't been nerfed somehow. I know there's people out there that say I don't think it should be nerfed. I think at least 6 mana for the card, but regardless, Ramp Druid, very strong with your early game to try and stay alive against aggro, because, well, you're going to win the late game, in particular with your Sire Denathrius combo with Bran Bronzebeard, where you just get a ridiculous amount of damage and lifesteal. Insatiable Devourer has actually made it as like a mainstay in the deck. It's funny, I put this in my achievement hunting deck in Wild. I'm like, it's pretty good. This might end up slotting into this deck at some point. And yeah, it's in the standard list right now. And there are lists that run like Kazakhstan for extra greed, but I feel like that's just a little too much, especially if you're playing at regular ranks. But yeah, Ramp Druid, definitely a very strong deck. And for the 5th deck, it's actually going to be 2 decks because there's 2 variants you might want to try with different type of skeleton ping mages. This is the one that recently, just like 10 minutes before I recorded this, got rank 1 legend, which as a hard counter to Rogue and just a competitive deck is this Renathal Ping Mage. You got Kel'Thuzad, you got Kael'thas, Mordresh, you got your Dawn Grasp, have Vipers in here to try and tech against Rogue a bit. Solid Alibi is now just been a really good card for the meta in Mage, as it stops your opponent from doing more than 1 damage at a time, and against giant stealth Rogue minions, well, that's pretty good. They can only do 1 damage a pop, and you kind of just burn them out. And I've been playing a very similar version of this deck. It's doing really well, and it's really fun. I love playing these style of Mage decks. They're really frustrating to face, particularly, you know, the board freezes, and you can repeat, you know, your Blizzards with your Grey Sage Parrot or your Deathborn with your Grey Sage Parrot. The deck feels very strong. Yeah, just try and get that location, try and get some early card draw, and you're off to the races. But if you're looking for more of a standard build that's not the XL variant, this is just regular Ping Mage. It's not so much on the skeleton side of things. You do have in here like Cold Case and Nightcloak Sanctum, but it's not about Kel'Thuzad. It's just more about your hero power doubling up on like wildfires with your Commander Savara. Overall, this deck is also performing pretty well. More conventional style of Ping Mage, but I definitely thought I would recommend the 2 Mage lists, and since they seem very popular and you can kind of pick and choose which style works best for you. For Wild, yeah, things haven't changed up a ton. I'll highlight a couple of decks that are a little bit newish, but yes, Pirate Rogue, we've highlighted this a lot. Really good aggro deck, really fast, beats the crap out of a lot of other strategies. Super solid, you know, it's all about Swordfish. Find your Swordfish or your Cavern Shiny Finder to get it. Then you cheat out all your pirates, do a bunch of damage. It's crazy. You also have Ship's Cannon here. Can do a lot of damage on its own, especially when coupled up with like a Parachute Brigand. Super solid deck, but yeah, nothing new. Big Priest, I'm going to recommend it. I'm sorry. I apologize, but it's doing well, and this video is about recommending decks that you can climb with. And yes, Big Priest does well. It's gross. You want to try and illuminate here, get that early, try and hit a Shadow Essence, Idol of Yashiraj, play one of these, get these out early with your Shadow Essence, all of that. And yeah, you just cheat these out over and over and resurrect them. It's gross, it's effective, it's popular. I'm going to recommend it, but I'm not going to feel very good about it. And yeah, we'll highlight another deck I'm not going to feel very good about. The deck I play. There's a reason I call it I'm an a-hole, because I play this deck. It's so evil. But Quest Mage basically auto beats every slow matchup in the game. It just crushes them, and you can beat aggro too, where, you know, you have your quest in here to get another turn, you stall with your Ray of Frost and your First Flame to try and beat aggro, and yeah, you just get a bunch of coins, complete your quest with Savara or whatever, and then you play a parrot, you potion the parrot, potion parrots, Bran, infinite turns. It's disgusting. It's insanely good against a large amount of the field, especially if you're climbing early, you're not facing a lot of aggro, you are going to crush people, and I find it fun to play, but I know it's got to be the worst deck in the world to face, and I'd rather get deleted from WoW, to be honest, but until it does, I gotta recommend it, and I'll play it myself because, well, I'm an a-hole. Anyways, Odd Paladin, I'll recommend this because it recently got buffed, and it seems to be doing all right because, you know, Warhorse Trainer got buffed, +2 attack and taunt, which is pretty crazy when you're creating 2 dudes a turn with your hero power, as well as Promotion got buffed, is also very strong with your hero power. You got Sinful Sous Chef in there, one of the new cards, and yeah, seems like a decent Odd Paladin list. I don't know if it's really super powerful, but I've seen people have moderate success with it, and you're looking for an Odd Paladin list to try out. Buffed Warhorse Trainer or Promotion, you're pretty good to go. Just need Baku in there and a couple of epics. Probably don't need Lithraxine if you don't have it, but overall, yeah, seems to be pretty interesting. And lastly, we'll leave off with Spicy list. All right, we'll give you some spice for your life if you have the cards Raza Priest with Dark Bishop, Benedictus, Renathal, and the Thief package with Identity Theft, Mysterious Visitor, and even the new 3-mana legendary in your Harvester and Envy have Mindrender Elusia, and you can outright steal your opponent's stuff with that kind of combo. Pretty cool, and it's pretty good against like aggro. You can scam some of the combo decks with a Dirty Rat and also Priest Thief shenanigans, and people have had some moderate success with it, so I'll throw it out there. Give some Reno XL Priest a shot, and there you go. Those are 5 decks from Standard and Wild you can expect to have some success with. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.